Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of our global audience. Welcome to today's webinar on the Analytics Edge Strategies for Maximizing Margin. I am Prathamesh, your moderator for this insightful session. I am a director with Fractal's Finance Analytics practice and bring overall 15 years of experience driving finance transformation solutions with Fortune 500 organizations. Before we dive into our discussion, let me walk you all through the webinar's flow. We will start with a quick introduction for our panel, followed by a curated discussion to understand margin management better. In the last 10 minutes, we will take select questions from the audience. In an increasing competitive market, business needs to leverage analytics to drive profitability and optimize performance. Today, we will explore key strategies and challenges in margin management through the lens of analytics with our esteemed panel of experts. Margin management is a critical aspect of any business, directly impacting the bottom line. With the advent of advanced analytics, companies have powerful tools at their disposal to enhance decision making, identify profit leakages, and optimize resources. However, integrating these tools effectively present its own set of challenges. Today, we aim to uncover these challenges and share actionable insights to help you all leverage analytics for better margin management. Let me quickly start by introducing our panel. Firstly, we have Derek Koshimba. Derek brings over 20 plus years of experience and is a well-known Mars veteran. He has gained experience through all ranks across finance, from local markets through regions to corporate finance. Recently, he concluded a finance data and analytics transformation that led to creation of global data assets and global analytics tools. Some of those tools focus on margin management from unit, product, customer perspective and have led to an adoption of 1,000 plus users globally. Currently, he is working on broadening the analytic capabilities through central finance SAP deployment that meets the margin analytics data requirement. Derek, if you just want to say a quick hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for invitation. And also thank you to all those of you who found slots to join this meeting today. And I hope that you're going to hear some stories that will be insightful for you, and the story from us will resonate with you.
Thank you, Derek. Next, we have Antonis Symbidis. Antonis is currently based out of Athens, Greece, where he lives with his wife and 3 kids. He has a business administration degree from University of Trieste, Greece, and an MSc in accounting and finance at the Essex University in UK. He has been with Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company since 2007, where he has lived through multiple roles in finance analytics, procurement, governance, and controllership. Initially in finance reporting and other finance analysis and business analytics roles. He's currently leading the BI reporting team at Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company. Antonis, if you want to quick say a hi to everyone.
Hi guys, good afternoon from my side as well. Very happy to be here with this nice team of participants and to have a nice discussion.
Great, thank you, Antonis. And finally, we have Shipra. Shipra Sudin is an accomplished leader with demonstrated ability to drive finance digital transformation within Fortune 100 companies. Revered as a leading practitioner and a trusted partner to the CFOs and finance executives, Shipra's expertise in domain knowledge and advanced analytics has been instrumental in guiding multiple organizations towards achieving strategic business objectives and enhancing their overall performance. Currently, she is serving as a global practice head for finance analytics at Fractal Analytics. Shipra excels in developing and promoting programs and capabilities focused on financial intelligence for digital CFOs and finance organizations. Shipra, if you want to say a quick hi to everyone, please.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be on the call today.
Great. Welcome, Shipra, Antonis, and Derek. Thank you for joining us today. Now, let us start with our discussion. I have a very fundamental question to start with. Derek, if what are the biggest challenges in maintaining healthy profit margins, and how do you think the advent of AI and machine learning can impact and boost these margins?
Well, I would say, how much time do we have? Yeah. So in companies like Mars and Coca-Cola, we've been around for 100+ years, and we have headwinds from all the possible dimensions you can imagine. And it starts everywhere. You can think about things like rising raw material prices. We one of the product lines that we have is cocoa, and cocoa. If those of you who has watched the commodity prices, has recently went all the way through the roof and has made all-time high of something like $11,000, and it's a significant material in our portfolio. And all other manufacturers had issues in there. We have customers who are integrating and they are comparing their margins on our products. And how do you deal with that? You have changing consumer preferences. You have more intense competition. 20 years ago, it was difficult to set up a digital shop. Right now, you don't need to have any digital experience, coding experience, etc. And you can start selling, on simple things like, there's all those websites where you can set up your shop within minutes. So if you take all of this into account, big manufacturers like Mars are under huge pressure from many, many, many different directions. We're also competing for talent. How do we make sure that we have the right people in the organization that will help us to drive organization further into the future? Now, how the machine learning AI tools can help us going into the future. So many different opportunities. Again, you could go for hours on what could help us. And I think one of those things that I can tell you what we're doing is like, how can we make sure that we better predict what's happening with cocoa market? How do we bring data from different places, weather, the trading activity, and so on and so on. We have the tools right now that can help you to bring immense volume of data to drive some conclusions. And that sounds something like, oh, cocoa price is something great, but it goes even further. What do you do internally? How do your operations, how do your processes run? How can you optimize them? I think there is a space in every place of the organization. The big question is how you do it.
Great. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for sharing that. Antonis, what are your thoughts on this? How do you perceive the challenges in your experience?
I think more or less, I think that from experience, we are in the same boat with Derek. This is what I have noticed as well. So in terms of challenges, when we're talking about, big manufacturing and companies, traditionally, we have two elements, let's say, on the side of the coin to impact. One is the cost, other side is the revenue. These are a big bucket, let's say, that we're trying to impact. And what I would say as a challenge is that also Derek mentioned, what the big companies do not like is the uncertainty, is the big fluctuations in the market on commodity prices, as you mentioned, or any other unexpected turbulence in the market. This is the biggest challenges for the big companies, and this is always for many years now the main target for them to reduce. So they want to streamline these fluctuations so that they have a more predictive, let's say, outcome that they can plan more easily. So for me, this would be the main challenge, and especially in the environment that we have today, because many of the people that have joined, I suppose that we are that know that we are living in the era of scrolling. Okay, so we are living in the era, unfortunately, that people and consumers of our products as well, they are very easily bored. They want new changes. They are looking for new experiences, new products, etc. And this is creating a very fast-paced market out there. So traditional companies, let's say manufacturing companies, need to adjust very fast in such a reality. And to do that, yes, we will need to go into also technology to get any benefit out of this. And what I see again as target for our companies is on the one side to try, as you said, to reduce this turbulence in the market by predictive analytics, by new ways of bringing new ideas to consumers. and also by reducing the cost on the one side. So reducing the cost with some automations, etc., that all the new tools are bringing. At the same time, predictive analytics so that we can predict, for example, demand on the market so that we can plan better, or that we can predict, let's say, the manufacturing batches that we need in order to have to reduce the cost of changeovers and things like that. I would put also an element of, user experience, because we know that all the new boutique companies that are coming out there, they have this tendency of focusing and providing practically products or services that are very dedicated, very customized to the customers. And this, I think, that what we are looking also with the support of advanced analytics, we are looking for ways that we can potentially customize the experience that we're providing to the consumers, to the end users. So these are the main areas that I would say that are both challenges but also opportunities for the new company, for our companies, to use advanced analytics and other technologies in order again to boost either revenue or our general profit margin.
Great. Thank you, Antonis, for sharing that. Now, Shipra, you might have a very different perspective of this. You have worked with multiple organizations across various industries, helping them with margin analytics solutions. What are your biggest challenges that you have seen with this organization in maintaining healthy profit margins? And how do you think the advent of AI and machine learning can impact and boost their margins?
So Prithmesh, there are multiple factors, I would say, right? And Derek and Anton has covered most of them. I would start from, DuPont analysis. We all have heard about it, right? Which is used for calculation of ROI, where we talk about your revenue management, we talk about your cost management and sales management, or investment management, right? So revenue, investment, and cost. What is happening is most of the organization, they're working on it, but again, this is very siloed. And when we talk about the profitability analytics, right, it is at the intersection of all these three things, which is not happening in most of the organization, I would say, right? So we are doing revenue management separately. We are doing cost management. We are doing investment management as well, but we are not bringing them together and trying to understand how they are interacting with each other, right? And if I have to break it into smaller problems, I would say, we do not have visibility at customer level. Derek, you would know it, right? It's very difficult to get to that level, right? So we do not have visibility at maybe customer level, at SKU level, and all. And what we need to do is get to the individual customer level, get to the SKU level, and all the various dimensions that we have. That visibility is not there yet. Cost management is difficult. Derek talked about it. Forecasting, which is done, it is still done based on the internal information that we have, right? So the accuracy is very, very low. And there is a lot of market disruption that is happening outside. How do we get the impact of those disruptions, or how do we understand the impact of those disruptions on the business performance, or the fluctuations that we're talking about, whether it is raw material or labor, energy, any other common cost components that we're talking about, right? So like this, there are multiple factors which are impacting it negatively. And how do we take care of it is analytics, we know, is a very powerful tool, right? Starting with data and again, the advancement that we have seen on the data side, that advancement can be used to bring everything together to create integrated system, right? And then we are talking about having analytics on top of it, where we have artificial intelligence, which can improve the accuracy of the forecast that we want. And with GenAI, right, we are all talking about large language models. Everything is very real time, right? You can ask simple questions and it'll give you a response, right? It can help you with descriptive, it can help you with diagnostic, even it can forecast for you, right? So using all these large language models, cloud, we talked about it. We want all the information to be very real time. And that's why, we can leverage the advancement that we have seen on the technology slide or the cloud platforms that we are talking about. So yes, when we do that, it provides us real-time view of what is happening. It gives us a lot of flexibility around futuristic view and running multiple simulations based on different market scenarios, and what is best for me to optimize my price for margin maximization and all. So that's what my take is. Analytics can really help a lot here, bringing data together and integrating the entire system that we're talking about.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Shipra. Really, some great insights from our panel here today. I would definitely like to implore our panel with some further question. So, Antonis, in your experience, what are the key challenges that organization faces when implementing analytics for margin improvement or, say, performance optimization? And how can these challenges be mitigated?
Yeah, thank you. I will step on what Sipra mentioned before because it was very interesting, meaning that, one of the first things that you need to do is integration of all the different areas, as we mentioned, of data that you have. And this is something that, again, most of the organizations, they're trying to do with implementing systems across that they can integrate across different areas of the business. However, what we have noticed as a challenge, if you want to take it during the last years, is that having integrated data, it means that also you are generating a huge amount of data. And now we are sitting on the era, I believe, that we need to somehow improve in terms of the quality of this data, meaning to selectively get the data that are needed in the case-by-case scenario, and to find a way to bring them to the business, to the need, to the requester in a real-time manner, as Sipra mentioned. So this, for me, is the biggest challenge that we have for the time being, because yes, we're using the cloud solutions, and yes, we're using the how to say powerful devices, etc., to bring it to the users. However, at this point of time, we have too huge amount of data in our hands, which it makes it really difficult to clean it up, to cleanse it, and to provide it in a real time to the consumer, let's call it, of this data. So for me, again, yes, this is the big bet that we have as producers of the new technologies, let's call it, for the future. This is a big bet on how we'll integrate with the new technologies so that we can bring all this data, to cleanse it, to pick and choose the ones that are selectively needed in each cases, and then to feed it to the appropriate, let's say, consumers in a real-time manner. Because again, speed is the one that really matters. And of course, I want to put also a point that is very critical to the big companies, the cost. Because all these huge integrations, the transition to cloud solutions that we have seen, etc., or even implementation of such new tools, which usually take some time and also take some trial as well. You need to see what is matching better your needs, etc. All this come today with a very significant cost, I can say. So the teams needs, in my view, other than the expertise, the technical expertise, etc., they need also a very strong support by the business to recognize, the changes that are existing in the market, and to heavily invest on this transition. And again, this is the technical, would say, side of the challenge. But also for me, it's very important also the change management, the human aspect of this, because again, these technologies are breakthrough technologies that we're discussing now. They will change completely the way that we're doing things in the traditional companies. And I would make it very simple that traditional, the information, the decision, big roadmap and strategies were coming top down, were decided by the senior management with the aggregated data that we were using in reports. So to provide the roadmap, let's say, for the whole business, and this was cascaded down. Now we're looking of information that will be on the market, on the people that have the feet on the market, on the actual sales people that can actually have a mobile on the phone or a handheld device, and they can have real-time the information there so that they can take real-time decisions on the specific customer, on the specific situation. So this is changing dramatically the way that information were provided and where we need the information and what granularity, the volume of information. So what I'm looking for in the future is really big change on the speed of processing the data. And this is why we are looking into the different technologies.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Antonis. Derek, what are your thoughts on the key challenges organization faces when implementing analytics for margin improvement?
Together with Shipra, we have been on this journey for quite a while. Yeah, so I will repeat certain things, but before I go there, I think let me share that I see those challenges through a four-lens approach. And there is a reason that I will also mention those four different lenses or optics in a particular sequence. And that's people, process, data, technology. Okay. And for a reason, technology is last. I mean, we are all excited by technology, but you can have the state-of-the-art technology if you don't deal with the people, process, data first, you have nothing. And we start with people. And again, now I'll come back to the story we had with Shipra when we were building customer P&L. And not once, not twice, we have been having sessions with our friends from sales team, and it's like, here's your profit on this customer. No. I've done calculation on a piece of paper. It's different. It's like whatever you do, my dear friend from sales, on your piece of paper, it's not a true profit. So breaking those silos is first step. Okay, breaking the segmentation of within the organization that we have brought together, and I think this is where analytics tools are those platforms that can bring people together. Now, but it's not only about this; it's also about the mindset and culture. And you will have, I mean, we have had it, and we still have it, and we will have it again in the future, where technology, tools, data will tell us a particular story. And you will face people saying, no, what are you telling me? I've been doing this for 10, 20 years. I know better. And then through number of iterations, you win the users. You win them with you. It's like, yeah, and it's not about finger pointing. It's about working together and saying, hey, but look, hey, it's getting better. Yeah, so it's a journey. So making this shift is change management is crucial in this. And again, I don't think you can do it with a big bang and say tomorrow we all wake up and you live in a data organization. Especially big corporations struggle with that. And I've had similar conversations with my friends from other FMCGs. I know I'm not alone. Okay. Now, another piece I want to mention is the buy-in from the leadership. I keep joking in the organization is like, who can be my Elon Musk on Mars? Okay, I know Elon wants to go to Mars. I need Elon Musk in Mars right now. So people want to look at him as an aspirational leader. Okay, I want to be like Elon. So I'm still looking for one, which also shows you that this buy-in is a challenge. Okay. Something else, so just going back to my process. So people, let's talk about process right now. Process things like, how do you register data? Okay, and what I see, and again, I come from finance, and we have very often built-in conflict within the organization when you will have like financial operations team who want to be super efficient and they want to go fast and record limited numbers of data. And they say, hey, I can post trade expenditure with one posting, debit and credit, job done, I move on. And then we come from FP&A and say, no, why don't you post it across customers and products? And all of a sudden you have a posting that is 20,000 records. Oh, that's too much work. How do you change that? How do we all together think about what is needed, not what is needed for my team? I need to be efficient, I need to move fast. Yeah. So how do you change your processes that can support this end goal of being data-driven organization? Then you come to data. And when we talk about data, it's like, how is your master data? I have not met anyone in the big FMCGs that I would say, oh, my cost centers are clean, my product data attributes are clean. Because if you don't have it clean, guess what? Whatever your tools are going to produce you will be also not the best quality. And again, I will admit, some products that we make, like in pet care, we have brand pedigree, and yes, it says pedigree in a pack, but in our product master data, it says Whiskas. We had those errors. And when you have a portfolio of 500,000 products, 500,000 SKUs, you will have those errors. So how do you clean them? And also, once you clean them, how do you maintain them relevant going forward? Yeah, so it's how you record and how you maintain the data. And then you come to technology. There is such a big, there's so many different options you can use, and you could probably spend ages trying to find the best one. And I don't think there is the best one. You just have to start somewhere. Yeah, pick something that you think is good for you, and then gradually work with the developers, with the providers, suppliers of the technology, so you can make it better. I'm not going to mention the name, but we're working with one of the companies that uses SAP data, and we actually help them to build a better front end to the users. So collectively, we make their products better as well. So many different paths.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Derek. Shipra, what is your perspective on this?
I think again, Derek and Thomas, they covered most of it, but and they both touched upon the change management and adoption. And I would go with that the biggest challenge is adoption, and how do we take care of the change management, right? We encounter a lot of resistance. This is again personal experience working with multiple organizations, right? We encounter challenges because, as Derek mentioned, employees are accustomed to traditional ways of working, right? Maybe there are some concerns around the job security as well, and then they do not understand the benefit of the that analytics can bring on, right? And also maybe there is some issue around transparency. They want to understand what is happening in the backend, right? So change management, I would say, is the biggest problem. And once that is done, we are talking about data silos, data integration, right? Data is sitting across multiple systems, legacy system, ERP system, and all. And again, because we are talking about finance here, it is going to be your data definition, your hierarchies of dimensions and all. It's going to be very, very different across legal entities that we have, right? So it's the challenge is, how do we bring all this information together, create a unified platform for this? And again, this takes care of data availability and data quality as well. Right. And then Antonis touched upon a point that what is the right set of tool for an organization? Every organization is different. The nuances that we talk about in the organization, they are different. So how do we select what technology is the right technology, right? Based on the goals or the objective that you have, or the budget that you have. And again, when we talk about mitigation plan, it's taking care of the change management, creating a process which is very inclusive, right? So people who are going to consume the information, they have to participate in the entire journey, right? Then only they'll be able to understand what benefits they are going to get, or how it is going to bring in more efficiency, improve their day-to-day working and all. Right. And then we're talking about having very detailed discovery, understand the goals and objectives of multiple personas. One of the issues that we face with most of the organization is, and Derek would agree with it, that you have multiple versions of the same solution, right? And people have different way of consuming this information, right? So how do we make sure, we are talking about creating a single platform or single source of truth? So how do we make sure that it takes care of the requirements, goals, and objectives of multiple personas, right, involved? Experimentation, piloting is important, right? We have to start small, implement it, see the user acceptance, see the value it is delivering, and then when you see a value, right, you take it to the next level. So fail fast, I would say. right? And one of the important thing is, again, because we are talking about developing solutions organization wide, data governance and security is very, very important. We need to make sure that whatever we are creating is consistent and high quality across departments, I would say, right? Uh, so yes, these are the common challenges, I would say, and the mitigation plan that has worked across organizations.
Great. Thank you for sharing such crucial knowledge nuggets, everyone. What this does is all of these responses are definitely making me think of future. Shipra, so looking ahead, what emerging trends in analytics do you believe will have the most significant impact on financial performance optimization? And how should finance leader prepare for these kind of challenges and changes?
Right. I think, the basic and the first thing that we need to do, and I'm saying this, I understand, most of the organization, they are on their journey of digitalization, right? Most of the organizations, they have already done a lot around this specific topic that we're discussing, that is, profitability improvement or performance optimization, right? But for everyone, I think we need to start with the augmented analytics and data democratization, right? That's very, very important. Specifically when we are talking about, most of these things are managed by finance people, right? So we have to make sure that everything that can be automated has to be automated, and data insights or any decision that we are making, that should be backed by the data. That should be the culture of the organization, right? So that's one of the trend, I would say. And then we have seen a lot of advancement both around technology side and artificial intelligence or machine learning side, right? Where it can provide you deeper insights. As I said, now with the advent of Gen AI, you can run multiple simulation, you can predict with very high accuracy, and you can run sensitivities and all. So that's what I would say. And one thing is, Antonis, he mentioned it multiple times, right? That with the kind of advancement again on the technology side, these hyperscalers that we're talking about, real-time data processing has become possible, right? Which was not possible with the Excel or traditional tools that we used to use, right? And with this, we can get access to all the historical information that we have. So historical intelligence is what we're talking about around, the performance of various customers, products, or any other dimension that we're looking at historically. And then also we can have the impact of external environment, right? So we can have your access to unstructured and structured data. Again, I'm talking about real time, and that can give it gives a lot of intelligent insights, right? We talked about customer profitability. Now, when we are talking about customer profitability or profitability at individual customer level, this should not be based on sales for a specific period of time, right? It has to be based on customer lifetime value, right? And to understand the customer lifetime value, you actually have to analyze a lot of historical data, and that is possible with the cloud and all, or cloud analytics, I would say. Um, and the last piece I would say is the conversational AI piece, right? With large language models, it is very much possible to ask once we have the data ready. Again, I'm talking about mix of internal data and external data. It is very easy to ask questions in simple language. Of course, you have multiple solutions created to consume the information. However, in interest of time, if you just want to type in a question and get response bases, that you're talking about nudges, alerts, everything, right? That is possible with generative AI now. And when we talk about what do we need to do to prepare for these changes, is one of the most important thing. We need to train our people, right? We need to get the right talent, people who can who have understanding of the new technologies that we're talking about, or who have understanding of AI, ML, and all, right? And again, I mentioned this point before as well. It is very important to create an environment of innovation and experiments, right? wherein you are experimenting a lot, right, with small MVPs or POCs and all, right? And that's how you see what fits well for the organization, right? Uh, and again, collaborating with the right technology partner for that. I talked about it earlier as well, but creating a data-driven culture again, right? So I think these are the things which the organization should prepare for. Most importantly, focusing on the right talent and training to be ready for the future trends that we're going to see, and to leverage those future trends for profitability improvement.
Perfect. Very interesting, Shipra. Derek, what trends do you see on horizon, and how should finance leaders be preparing for it?
Oh, I googled it. I wanted to check something just as we were discussing. How much data is a single jet engine producing per hour of flight? And I got one of the answers was 20 terabytes of data. And if you think about this, 20 years ago, that would be unimaginable. Like, how do you store it? How do you, crunch through the data to find something? Over the last 10, 20 years, this growth has been massive. The Moore's law, you see it, the capacity doubling every year, every 18 months, whatever. So what is it out there? So one of those big things for us is things like, how do we bring data from many different platforms? If you think about organization as big as Mars, we have different lines of business. How do we make sure that we can look at the customer holistically? We don't see it a customer in different places separately. No, how can we recognize their needs? It's all about being customer centric. It's not only about us maximizing the revenue and maximizing the margins. We want them to be happy. We want them to be satisfied because we want them to stay with us. Yeah. So how do we bring it together? Now technology allows us to. It's not easy. I'm not going to pretend that it's easy. That you plug it in and magically everything happens. It tells you Antonis has got a dog in Greece and he is very happy and he's going to bring another one. No, okay, I cannot lie. You can do it just like that, but that's what we are focusing on. And one of the huge advancements we see as well is like image recognition. I remember the days when I joined the organization, I would go to the factory and we would manually check the quality of chocolate bars. Now we have machines doing that. Yeah, it's again, this is only possible because we can crunch the data so fast. And if you think it's one chocolate at a time, no, we have hundreds of bars coming off the line every single minute, every single second. Yeah, so again, that's only possible because of the advancement. So what is it out there? I don't know, but I know that we have to be learning about those capabilities. One of the big things I want to make sure we have some on the radar is blockchain. How blockchain is going to help change the businesses. I mean, I keep asking and looking for some scaled up solutions in blockchain. I'm not talking about, NFT that is collapsing within a month, etc. But how blockchain is going to change our industries. There were some trials in the past. I know that Walmart did a trial on traceability of raspberries, and that trial has died. And that's the approach. But I'm sure I keep joking, there's a kid sitting in a garage that is actually doing something like this right now. And that those kids are gonna bring it forward and will be the next Google. It will come. I just don't know where. I knew where. I wish I knew where it's coming. So I could be the seed investor myself, but I don't think I will know, and it will come. Yeah. So that's what I would think about the future. What the future will bring.
Very interesting, Derek. Antonis, what are your thoughts on these future trends, emerging tech, and how, again, leaders should be preparing themselves for what's coming?
Okay, I don't have a lot of different. I think that the guys covered me a lot, meaning that I think that we are living again on a very interesting era because all these what we're discussing, 20 years ago would be unimaginable. So we're talking about, having an eye on each individual customer, which, again, some years back was not even was not even considered. So in my view, how we can train and how we can improve the day-to-day activities of the people in terms of these emerging technologies is very important. even with small pieces at a time, with MVPs that Sipra mentioned as well, that we're trying to do in its case, maybe with chatbots that some people may not even realize that they have some advanced analytics behind, or some how to say, machine learning tools behind. We have seen that chatbots, for example, or NLP that Sipra mentioned, are things that are very easily and very fast adopted by people without even recognizing that they are using these advanced technologies. And this is because we are making their life easier. So this is what we are looking for in the future, for all these people, for us to be on the back end, gathering, let's say, curating the data that we needed. But at the end of the line, the point is to produce a product also for them to consume information, to consume this data on the easiest way possible for them. Let's not take it as granted, because today, unfortunately, we are bombarding people, users, with 10, 20 different tools at the same time. Again, we're looking for at a very fast-paced market now. We are creating 20 POCs at the same time, and we're looking for people all the time that they will be testing, that they will be using these tools in their day-to-day work. And this is not easy, guys. This is not easy at all. We have seen business developers that they are just, for example, raising their hands in the sky saying, guys, okay, we cannot cope, and we cannot adopt, let's say, 20 different tools at the same time. Of course, they are useful. Of course, they can work, but we need again to have the people-centric also option, so that we can bring them easily for their consumption. Again, with technologies, even this is what I'm looking for, how we can integrate them, that will make their life easier, with asking a simple question in simple language to get some responses, or with a chatbot that can be there 24/7 for them to be able to respond. Of course, in the back end, we are looking also on machine learning. For us, it's very important, and for me, it's also a very big opportunity to integrate also knowledge, business knowledge that we have from existing people running the organization, and gradually to train these tools with their support in order to get to the best outcomes. Because as we mentioned before, we are going into again a different era. We're going to an era that, as Sipra said, that the guys feel that they are losing control. Before, they had the historical information, the historical data that they knew where they come from. They could reconcile them. They had a very good picture of what they knew, and they would base their decision based on that. Now we are asking them to go a step further and to trust the data that they're receiving. So we're asking them to trust, to adopt them, and to make them part of their day-to-day work and of their decision making, without knowing 100% where this data are coming from, what are the processes that they are going through before they're reaching their hands. So this is the training aspect, and the consumer aspect that we need to consider. And again, to make this at the end of the journey simple for them to consume. Because if at the end the user does not really use or adopt whatever we are building, it makes no difference of how many hours we have spent in the back end to improve the quality of the data, or to harmonize, etc., and to have the best prescriptive analytics, for example. It doesn't make no difference. We need to make them easily consumable, let's say, for the end user.
Antonius, can I add to that? I mean, I think I read somewhere an article talking about that, our brain has not developed as fast as the data. To your point, how much data we're being bombarded with. Yeah, so 100% what you said resonates with me. How do we make it easier? And one of those things that we're exploring with is things like, did you know that? Okay, so how can we inspire people using some, I don't know, anomaly detection, some trend analysis, advanced trend analysis, that there is something that is in the data set. Because if you think about this, if you have a customer, you sell, 200 SKUs in there, and you have someone who is in the car trying to sell, he's not gonna, or she's not gonna find it on an iPhone or an iPad. How do you create guided analytics as well? Yeah, so that you support the user to get to the bottom of it, so that, and then if you inspire that person, hopefully that person is gonna share it. So I think user has to be in the center of whatever we're gonna design for the future.
Agreed.
Perfect. Thank you, Antonis. Thank you, Derek, for sharing that. And thank you, panel, for sharing such insightful thoughts with us today. I'm also seeing a lot of questions coming from audience. With your permission, maybe I'll share a few of them with you. Okay, the first one is, what are the critical success factors for integrating advanced analytics into existing financial systems and processes? And how do you measure the ROI for these analytic initiatives? Derek, Antonis, any one of you, if you want to take that.
I would just say, if you are at the beginning of the journey, then start. If you keep planning and you do not start, you're not gonna get there. Accept that you'll make errors. As Shipra said, learn to fail fast. Yeah, and I remember when I started my role a number of years back, and that was a big cultural change, because the perception was like, if you fail, it means you haven't planned well enough. And then I say, no, you have to learn what true agile, because I also see a lot of places where agile is misused or misunderstood, what true agile approach really means. So start. And now when we talk about measuring ROI or returns, this is very, very tricky. Because when you come with something actual investment, and then have people coming to you telling how much value they have delivered, you have delivered through the solutions. And I look at it through two lenses. One is, I want to see if there is adoption. Do I have users coming back? Okay, that's one of the dimensions. And second is, I trigger them sometimes and say, what if I disconnected this? Would you survive? Okay, so it might be harsh, but of course, I'm not planning to switch it off, but I want to hear the reaction. Is it something that they actually use? Is it something that cannot use without? Is it used once a day, or is it used every single day? Again, one of the big things that we did together with Shipra back then was when we started customer analytics. It's like, now I know it's being used every single day. 70% of users are coming from sales. It's not finance. Yeah, so use this data and then build with them. We started with a simple report. Now we have the whole ecosystem.
Yes, I would agree on that. And if I may add,
Antonis, you're on mute.
For me also,
I think.
yes.
Sorry.
For me also, the point here is that you need to onboard people. You need to onboard the management. You need to bring them together with you to make them ambassadors of the new things. And how to do that? You need to go with small increments, small MVPs, small use cases that you can convince them of the value that this any new technology is bringing. And usually, from my experience as well, if the management is onboarded and if they see the value from their side, because they can recognize for small use cases, they will not really look very hard for hard monetary benefits. They will not ask you. They will start challenging and ask you for monetary and how much euro you'll get on the dollar, for example, for this, only if they are not on board. If you manage to convince them with the value, with the adoption of the users, with the user experience that they see for people using these tools, for making their life easier. Derek, for example, before mentioned about, I was also very impressed when I went to the warehouse and I saw these guys working with the glasses like Tom Cruise on the picking, and they were able to do, I don't know, 100 picking in half an hour that they used to do 3 days in the past. And at the same time, recognizing the products and how to say, and picking the products and updating the warehouse and the stock at the same time. So we're talking about technologies that the people can see, senior management can see, and then they get on board, and you prove the value based on the user experience, the adoption of the people, how you make the processes more efficient, etc. You will not have always a way to calculate the monetary benefit, the actual value that it's bringing. But again, you don't need to have it at all cases. You can calculate, you can put some KPIs behind, etc. But the important thing is to actually bring the users to be the ambassadors of the value that this is bringing. This is my view, that they actually use it and it improves the processes of the day-to-day life, and it's actually they cannot live without it, as Derek says.
I'll just add one more point. What I feel is, and I know both of you would not agree much with this. It's just that, I feel that taking into consideration both the monetary and non-monetary aspect is important. For every business, objective is, it is always linked with financial goals. That's why I would say monetary is when you're talking about, if there is revenue improvement that I'm looking for, if there is any cost reduction that I'm looking for, or I'm looking for some improvement in forecasting accuracy, right, which is going to help me on the sales side and all. That is monetary. More important is non-monetary aspect, right? We discussed about user adoption, productivity, efficiency improvement. What kind of insights are they getting? Are they getting information on the risk, and are they able to take decision accordingly, right? So through this tool, have we improved their decision making journey, improved, and I would say make it easy to make decisions, right? So I would say it's both monetary and non-monetary aspect that we should take into consideration. Otherwise, it's difficult to convince leadership team, right, that why and what exactly are we trying to solve here.
Great. Thank you, Derek, Antonis, and Shifra for sharing that. I have one more question that we just got. Can you explain how advanced analytics can identify margin improvement opportunities in a business?
Okay, so
Derek,
one of those
Antonis.
things I would say is if we talk purely about products and customers, what is the right mix of products? Why is there a certain group of customers that have a higher profitability versus others? How can we guide the users, like be inspired from all the data that we have internally? So the key account manager, the sales representative, can think differently about what the product mix could be. That's where you can start with. You have that data. Every organization have that data. Big question is, are you willing to share it? Because I have heard organizations where the sales teams are focused on volume only, top line. They don't have absolutely any idea what the profitability of those products is, because they say this is a secret knowledge. Yes, you have to keep the data secure. I agree. So how do you build in such a way that you protect the numbers within the organization, but you also inspire? You have to find the right balance. Yeah. So and again, as I said at the beginning, every organization sits on mountains of data. How do you use it? Antonis?
Yes, I agree with that. And if I would give an example also from the other part, so yes, the commercial, etc., one part, but also for me a very important way that you can get efficiencies is also from the production, because we know that it's either the revenue that you are looking, as we said, to increase or the cost to reduce. And one of the key areas, in my view, is the demand planning. As we said, that say that we are always looking for ways to streamline the process of the planning, and demand planning is one of the most critical processes in that. So advanced analytics or artificial intelligence tools combining data from internal but also external sources, like the weather forecast that we have seen, like the changes in temperatures, like the unexpected, let's say, how do you say, stock reduction that we have in some cases. This can give you very valuable information of how to plan your demand, your changeovers of your products, etc., and to reduce any inefficiencies that you have in the production. This, and also to reduce the stock, which is something that it's something very critical for all the companies to produce only while what is needed, to reduce as much as the stock as much as possible. So these are areas that especially big companies that have big volume of different products are looking to as improvements, as process efficiencies. And as Derek says, one side is on the business, the selling side, and one is also you can implement such tools also to reduce your cost on the production side.
Perfect. So I think we are almost on the top of the hour. In the interest of time, I would not take any further questions. Thank you for your time today, Derek, Shipra, and Dennis. I would request the panel to share a few concluding thoughts with us. Derek, if you want to start.
I know. I would say, don't be afraid to start. Accept that it's a journey, and keep learning. I'm learning every single day what the future will bring, what can be done. It's not like I know everything, or no one knows everything. We live in the time of when knowledge is increasing at such a rapid pace. So keep up to date. Try to keep up to date.
Great. Thank you, Derek. Shipra, would you want to go next, please?
Yeah, sure. So very similar to what Derek mentioned again, I feel that advanced analytics, AI, and now generative AI, and I feel they hold immense potential for unlocking significant profitability improvement or performance optimization. So I think organizations should strategically shift their focus to utilize or leverage these advanced technologies, and also maybe some of the traditional methods that we discussed, maybe focus more on the customers, right? That's the key mantra. And of course, as it's evolving world, daily new changes is what we see. So continuous learning or keep learning.
Great. Thank you, Shipra. And Dennis, your thoughts as well, please.
Yes, thank you. If I would summarize something that I would like to, as a takeaway for the people, let's say, that joined us for this discussion, would be that the guys, the change management aspect of these implementations, meaning that guys, when you have such a project, don't consider it in the traditional way of creating something, implementing a new tool, and giving it to the users and they will need to adopt. No, these are technologies, as we say, that are breakthrough technologies, and they will be changing the life of the users and the people going forward. What we're saying that decision is moved from the senior management more and more towards the lower levels. Information is moved from the senior management more and more to the lower levels with very high granularity, very high volume, very online information. So don't consider that this is as it was, normal business, same as it was in the past. Dedicate a lot of time on the change management and on bringing these people on board, educating them, training them, and helping them on the use of these new tools.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Antonis. And thank you once again, Derek, Antonis, and Shipra, for sharing your valuable insights. It is clear that leveraging analytics effectively is crucial for maximizing margins and driving overall business performance. To our audience, thank you for joining us today. We hope you found this session insightful and are leaving with actionable insights and strategies to implement in your organization. Stay tuned for more webinar from us and have a great day ahead. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, team. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Have a nice afternoon, everyone.
Bye-bye.